I stood in front of the mirror, shirt crisp, vows rehearsed. Every detail perfect except for the 2 empty chairs in the front row. Mom's seat, Dad's seat, both untouched. I called her once. Mom, where are you? Her voice came through sharp as glass. Don't bother us, then the line went dead. That tone cold, final. The kind that isn't born in a moment but built over years of quiet resentment. I stared at my reflection, her words echoing in my chest. Don't bother us. Emma, my fiancée, touched my arm. They'll come, she whispered. But I knew they wouldn't. I smiled for the guests, kissed my bride, and played the role of the perfect son one last time. Half an hour later, while everyone was dancing, I slipped away to the catering office, opened my laptop, logged into my bank, and shut down every single account in my name. Every transfer, every safety net gone. $2,000 a month for 8 years. It started small. They were struggling. Dad's retirement hadn't cleared. Mom's health was shaky. I had just finished college and wanted to make them proud to give back. I didn't think twice. I sent money like it was love made digital until that night, my wedding night, when they chose not to show up. By the time I returned to the reception, I'd already erased everything they relied on. The joint account, the emergency fund, even their rent payments. And strangely, revenge didn't feel angry, it felt calm. Like seeing the truth for the first time in daylight. It hadn't always been this way. Dad used to call me his pride. Mom would say, we gave up everything for you. Maybe they did for a while. But as time passed, their love started to feel like a business deal. If I missed a payment, I got guilted. If I questioned an expense, Mom cried. If I set a boundary, Dad went silent for days. Their control wore the mask of care. Then Emma came along, the first person to really see it. They don't need your money, Liam, she said. They need your obedience. I brushed it off until the day I dropped by their place unannounced. The rundown apartment wasn't rundown anymore. A new TV, new car, new furniture, and on the table, cruise tickets paid in full. That was my breaking point. Not because of the money, but because of the lie. I didn't confront them. I just smiled, hugged Mom, and told Dad I'd keep helping them as long as they needed. After that, I started planning. Step 1, create a paper trail. Step 2, open a private account. Step 3, quietly move everything I owned there. They had no clue I'd stopped sending real deposits months before the wedding. The money they were spending was already disappearing. They were living off the ghost of my generosity. By the time the big day came, they were standing on the edge of a cliff made of my patience. And when Mom said, don't bother us, she shoved me right off it. The next morning, Dad called first 7 missed calls before I finally answered. Liam, his voice cracked, frantic. The bank froze everything. What the hell did you do? I stayed silent. Your mother's crying. The landlord's here. I let him shout until his voice shook. Then I said, calm and steady, you told me not to bother you. There was a pause. Then a sharp inhale. Realization. You're punishing us? After everything we did for you? I almost laughed. You mean everything I paid for you? His breath caught. You ungrateful, click. I hung up. That was the moment I finally felt free. 3 days later, he showed up at my office sweating, shaking, carrying that same proud anger he used to use to keep me in line. He burst in, shouting, you think you can just cut us off like garbage? People stopped and stared. I didn't move. You missed my wedding. Dad, I said quietly. That was all the answer he needed. He slammed his hand on my desk. We're your parents. No, I said. You were, until you sold that title for $2,000 a month. The words hit him like a punch he didn't see coming. He blinked once, twice, then looked around at the faces watching, at the shame reflected back at him. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. That's when he finally understood. They hadn't just lost money. They'd lost their audience, their control, their son. He walked out without another word. That night, I sat on my balcony with a glass of whiskey, scrolling through old messages, Mom asking for just a little more, Dad reminding me that grateful sons don't keep score. I deleted every one of them. Then a new message popped up from Mom. You'll regret this when we're gone. I typed back, I already did. That's why I stopped. For the first time, I didn't feel guilt, just peace. People talk about revenge like it's fire, but mine wasn't flames. It was silence. Clean, cold, a silence that left them with exactly what they'd given me, nothing. They taught me that love was conditional, so I made sure the condition finally applied to them. And when Dad found out who had taken his place at the head of my new life, it was Emma.